the thing that's interesting to me, the thing that I wanted to get at is, we've been talking a lot about grounding, and I'm very happy to hear you guys talking about how this exercise helped you with your grounding for the readers. Let's take a minute to look at how Hemingway opens the story and what we have at the end of the first paragraph. The hills were long and like Deb is saying, we have this long sort of landscape from a wide angle view. There's hills, there's no shade and no trees. The station is in the sun. It's implied that it's hot. There's a bar, and the bar has a curtain made of bamboo beads. It's like a picture is being drawn here slowly. He's not rushing. He's not trying to nail it down by saying like train station bar and these things are happening. He's taking his time, and like Alan was saying, he's painting pictures. So we've got sort of the long landscape, then we've got the train station in it. There's a curtain, there's a bar. The American and the girl are at a table at the bar. They're in the shade. And we understand that they're waiting for a train. So in terms of grounding the reader, can we agree that a lot has happened here? We've really got the stage and the setting by the end of this first paragraph. And then from there, the reader is ready to go with the dialogue. It's almost like a play. We have the characters, their bodies are in the scene and the setting, and they're on the stage, and here we go with the dialogue. And then we get some more action after that. The woman brought 2 glasses of beer and 2 felt pads. She put the felt pads and the beer glasses on the table. The girl was doing this. They were white in the sun. Yeah, I think that's a good point for you to look at, Olivia, is that when he's using linking verbs, here he's talking about the hills. The girl is doing something, she's looking. The woman brought, she put. So, it's important to look at the subjects as well. If we're looking at grounding too, we can go to the beginning of Put Yourself in My Shoes. The telephone rang while he was running the vacuum. So we've got a sound, we've got an action, we've got an object that's very familiar to everyone that has a connotation. It's a machine, you use it to clean. He had worked his way through the apartment and was doing the living room. So then we've got what kind of place he lives in. We've got the room that he's in. The nozzle attachment to get at the cat hair between the cushions. Oh, cushions. What kind of cushions? Well, I thought it had the word sofa somewhere in here. Anyway, we know the cushions is probably a sofa. He stopped and listened and switched off the vacuum, answered the telephone. So here we have a guy's body. He's been using the vacuum. He's using it on the couch. They have a cat. They have an apartment. He's by himself. He's cleaning. And the phone is ringing, which is a sound. Then he goes and answers it. So in terms of grounding, the elements are there in these 2 stories, in Hemingway and in Carver. Should we look at the terrapin? At the beginning of this piece, Victor heard the elevator door open. So we've got a sound. Then we've got another sound. His mother's quick footsteps in the hall, and he flipped his book shut. He shoved it under the sofa pillow out of sight. So here I'm imagining a living room. I'm imagining Victor on the couch or the sofa. He's reading a book, and he winced as he heard it slip between the sofa and the wall, fall to the floor with a thud. Her key was in the lock. So it's like first paragraph again, it gives us the setup that we need. We've got Victor in the living room with a book. His mother's coming home. They live in a building with an elevator. And she's got to the door with the key. There's something implied by quick footsteps in the hall, but we have action, we have sounds, we have visuals, and we're sort of ready to begin with some sort of grounding there and intrigue. Does that make sense? Have you been noticing grounding at the beginning of other stories that we've read this semester?
I haven't paid enough attention. I'm starting to pay attention.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Anybody else?
I thought I sort of remembered some grounding in Iris. If I remember the beginning of it properly, he was sitting in a rest stop out west, and it sort of clued you in that it was going to be, that sort of Pacific Northwest vibe. It felt grounding. I'm trying to check it here.
We know that he's in his car, he's on a highway and he pulls off. And then he's not just a body that's in the car. This woman comes over to the car. She starts talking to him.
Right.
Parts of home seem to have some nice grounding as well. At the start, he's withdrew to the side of the window and with his head between the wall and curtain, looked
Yeah.
down to the driveway where the cars stop.
Yeah, so we
So
have
you
a
know he's
room.
looking out the window.
Yeah, we've got a room, we've got a driveway, we've got a curtain. His mother and the little slut were getting out of it. So right away, you've got a line that's pretty loaded right there. His mother and the little slut. All of a sudden, you're thinking like, what the hell is this? Oh my God! It's there's interesting language there about that. And then from there, it's really an image of the woman getting out of the car with his mother. And the last sentence, rage gathered throughout Thomas's large frame with a silent, ominous intensity, like a mob assembling. So then we've got sort of an abstract, but after we've been grounded. So it's always got to be a balance. Like you can do the interior stuff, but do the grounding as well.